What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and today I wanted to talk about the Colts' playoff chances because I've seen a lot of people online say they have no chance to make the playoffs. It's over, it's done. Sit Carson Wentz. The only shot they would have had to make the playoffs is winning the division, but that's not going to happen because they lost to the Titans twice. It's over. So I figured I would look at all the teams ahead of us, look at their schedules, and then determine whether I believe they're going to make the playoffs or not. So I do want to say I don't think they're going to win the division because if you look at the Titans' schedule, I think at most they lose three more games this year. And at that point, if the Colts win out, they would be tied record wise, and the Titans have the tiebreaker. So I don't think they're going to win the division. You would have to hope a team like Miami or Houston would go in there and beat the Titans or Jacksonville. But I just don't see those teams beating the Titans even without Derrick Henry. So to me, I think the Titans are going to win the division. The only way they will lose that division is if they just fall apart and they lose most of their games. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's look at the playoff picture, shall we? And I want to start with the teams ahead of us in the wild card, and then we'll go through each team's schedule, and then we'll determine at the end of the day if the Colts have a chance to make the playoffs. So, let's start off with number 5. We have Cincinnati at 5-3. At number 6, we have the Steelers at 4-3, and 7, the Chargers at 4-3. Then you go to the teams on the bubble that still have a chance to make the playoffs. You got the Patriots at 4-4, the Chiefs at 4-4, the Chargers at 4-4, and the Broncos at 4-4. And then you have us at 4-5. Now I'll say, let's get the Broncos out of there. I think they've given up on their season already, so I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. But let's look at the other team schedules ahead of us, shall we? And let's see if they're going to make the playoffs. And today I want to start off with the Cleveland Browns. So with the Browns, if you look at their schedule, they have Cincinnati coming up, then they have the Patriots, then they have the Lions, then they have the Ravens. They're on a bye, Ravens again, Raiders, Packers, Steelers, Bengals. So looking at their schedule, if we look right now, just going through each week, I think they lose to Cincinnati. I think they beat the Patriots. I think they beat the Lions. They lose to the Ravens twice. I think they lose to the Raiders. They lose to the Packers. They they win against Pittsburgh, and then they win against Cincinnati, splitting their series with Pittsburgh and with Cincinnati at one apiece. But still, that 3 wins out of the next 9 games, I think, if I counted right. So looking at it right then and there, they would be what, 7-10, maybe 8-9 if I counted wrong. So I think the Colts definitely have a chance to make the playoffs over the Browns. So I think they're going to make it over the Browns. Now let's go ahead and let's look at Kansas City's schedule and see what they have. So you have Kansas City, who's already struggling because of their defense, but they play the Packers, the Raiders, the Cowboys. They're on a bye. The Broncos, Raiders again, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos. So looking at their schedule, I think they're going to beat the Packers this weekend. I think not having Aaron Rodgers there is really going to help Kansas City in that game. I think they beat the Packers. I just don't think Jordan Love is going to go in there and beat the Chiefs. But who knows? Maybe he will. It'll be a good win for him for his first start in the NFL. I think they lose to the Raiders. I think they lose to the Cowboys. I think they beat the Broncos. I think they're going to lose to the Raiders. That offense is so good. I just don't think they're going to lose many games going here on out. I think they beat the Chargers, so they split that series at one apiece. I think they're going to beat the Steelers. I think they beat Cincinnati, and then, or no, sorry, I think they lose to Cincinnati, and then I think they beat the Broncos. So looking at that right there, that's 4 losses for them. That would put Cincinnati right now, or not Cincinnati. That would put Kansas City right now at 9-8. I don't think that's going to be enough to make the playoffs. So I think they're going to lose out and not make the playoffs. I think their defense is what's going to kill them. Then we look at the Patriots schedule. So the Patriots, like we've already seen, are playing some teams that are currently ahead of us. So it's already going to, balance out. The Patriots, I do not want updates from you, New England. They play Carolina this weekend. They play Cleveland, Atlanta, Tennessee, Buffalo, bye week. They play us, Buffalo again, Jacksonville, and then they finish the year off against Miami. So looking at their schedule, I think they beat Carolina. I believe I said they beat Cleveland, and I'm going to stick to that. I think they beat Cleveland. I think Atlanta actually beats them. Atlanta's offense is so good right now. I think that Tennessee is going to I think Tennessee is going to beat them. I think Buffalo beats them. I think we beat them. I think Buffalo beats them again. I think Jacksonville loses to them, and I think they beat Miami. So that's 5 losses right there. So looking at their schedule right now, that would put them at 8 and 9. That's not good enough to make the playoffs. So I have the Patriots getting eliminated. Now, there we have it right there. That puts us at number 8, in my opinion. Now let's look at the teams that are ahead of them in the wild card, shall we? So let's start with the Chargers. So looking at the chart, no, I don't want notifications. um, they play Philly this weekend. Then they play Minnesota. Then they play Pittsburgh. Then they play Denver. Then they play Cincinnati. They play the Giants. They play Kansas City, Houston, Denver, and then the Raiders. So looking at their schedule right now, I think they beat Philly. I think they're going to actually lose to Minnesota. I think Minnesota's offense is so good that they're going to go in there and win. Like, they have a top 10 offense, in my opinion, maybe even top 5. I mean, if you can get Kirk Cousins cooking, and if you can get Jefferson going and Thielen and that run game with Dalvin Cook, that's a good team. And then I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh. I think they're going to beat Denver. I think they lose to Cincinnati. I think they beat the Giants. I think they beat Kansas City. I think they beat Houston. I think they beat Denver and they lose to the Raiders. So that's 3 losses for them right there. So at the end of the day, looking at their schedule, that put them at what would it be, 11-6? That should be enough for them to get in. I think they're going to get into playoffs. I think they'll finish right around where we're finishing. So it's going to depend on tiebreakers, but I do think they're going to make it. Now we look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I think it's going to be huge on whether the Colts make the playoffs or not. So looking at Pittsburgh right now, Pittsburgh plays against the Bears this Monday, the Lions, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Browns, the Ravens. So look at their schedule right now. I think they're going to lose to Chicago. I think that's going to be a big upset. I think Chicago is going to go in there and surprise a lot of people, and they're going to shut down the Steelers. So I have them losing to the Bears, I have them beating the Lions, I have them losing to the Chargers, I have them losing to the Bengals, losing to the Ravens. I have them. I think they beat Minnesota. They lose to Tennessee. I think they lose to Kansas City. I think they beat Cleveland, if I'm remembering right, and then I think they lose to the Ravens. So right there, if we're going to call it there, that puts them at 7-10. That eliminates them from the playoffs, in my opinion, because I don't think the Colts are going to go 9-8. I think they're going to go, probably, if I had to guess, they're going to go probably 10-7, 11-6 is kind of where I have the Colts finishing. So right there, if we called it there, that puts them ahead of the Steelers. Right now, that means the Colts are going to make the playoffs. And of course, all this could change because we don't know what the results were this Sunday. So we'll definitely see. But let's go to Cincinnati for fun. See if they have a chance to finish ahead of Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a weird team, because one week they'll look great against like the Ravens, and then the following week they'll play the Jets and they just won't look that good. So very weird team. But let's get into their schedule. They play Cleveland. They're on a bye. Then the Raiders. Then the Steelers. The Chargers. 49ers. Denver. Baltimore. Chiefs. And then Browns to finish off the year. So I think they're going to beat Cleveland. They're going to lose to the Raiders. They're going to beat Pittsburgh. They're going to this is a toss-up. It could change. I think they're going to end up beating the Chargers. I think they beat the 49ers. I think they beat Denver. They lose to the Ravens again. They beat Kansas City. And then I think they lose to the Browns, splitting it up. So that puts them at 3 losses. So right there, that has them at 11-6. So in my opinion, I think that means they're going to finish ahead of the Colts and they're going to make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, after looking through everybody's schedule And I know it's a longer video just going through everybody's schedules, but it is what it is. Can the Colts make the playoffs? Just looking at it right here, I think they're going to be seventh. I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to get in. I think Pittsburgh is going to lose a lot coming up this year. I know some Steelers fans are going to disagree with me, but I don't think Pittsburgh's all that great. I think they end up finishing with a record of I think they finish with a record of 7-10. So I think the Steelers are going to miss the playoffs, and I think the Colts are going to replace them, and they're going to get in at number 7. So yes, even losing to the Bills and the Bucks, I think they get in the playoffs. And heck, I think they could still get in if they lose to the Cardinals. But I do think they're going to have to win against the teams they should beat. So like Jacksonville, the 2 times they play them, the Texans, teams like that. But they're going to also have to beat the Patriots, the Raiders, or the Cardinals. And I think they probably should get one of those big, wins against either the Bills or the Bucks to secure a spot in the playoffs. But in my opinion, unless they lose 5 games, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to get in. I think they're going to shock a lot of people. And yeah, that's just how I see it going. So that will do it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. Again, sorry for the longer video, but I had to go through everybody's schedules. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified whenever we go live or whenever we upload. We always go live on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Depends on the day and who's available. So make sure you click the bell icon so you're notified whenever we go live. If you like this video, click the like button. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on my predictions. And do you think the Colts are going to make the playoffs? Thank you so much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.